Okay. Here we are. You done there, buddy?
I'm done. I was just looking at TVs.
Oh, looking at buying TVs for your new apartment.
The brand new apartment, which is.
I don't know where to start today.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I wrote down some notes because there's a few things we can't forget, and now there's also things developing in Atlanta that we might have to call Anthony about.
I hope we get him like mid Karen moment.
He might be in the back of a squad car by the time we call him. We might get officer friendly answering the phone,
screaming about lizard people.
Right. So this goes into what we're going to talk about first. I think contributes to a week that was starting to drive you nuts. And let me tell you something. Not only with the extra people back on the road, and whatever, but you were gearing up for these imaginary fights in your head all week with trying to get approved for this apartment.
I have. I've had a trying few.
And having worked with you, and you drive around in that fucking work van, and of course, it's only a 2-seater, but there's 3 of us, so someone sits on a toolbox right behind.
It's a comfort box.
And but with you driving like above your normal asshole driving, because you just drive like an absolute asshole.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah. And just rant at people for like slowing down to turn instead of just, just common sense things that you do too. And if you were behind yourself, you'd be cursing at yourself for doing it.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. That now was turned up. The dial was turned up to 11, with more people on the road. And then, dude, that day it was raining. I thought I was going to die. Because you were still driving like it was dry out. You're riding people's asses on the highway going 70 and jerking around. And I know we were hydroplaning a couple of times.
We were not hydroplaning.
Look at
you're just being facetious.
Your face tells it all.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't look in the eye right now.
This is why we need video. So all that, and then you're like, you'd be mumbling at the beginning of the day, running the scenario of how they were going to fuck you at the apartment place, gearing up, like just getting yourself in such a bad headspace, waiting for the worst possible thing to happen. Almost hoping it would happen. Because otherwise all this mental preparation through the day was not gonna be worth it. And it was no pun intended, prime Marco Salvino in action. Yeah. And I was like, again, like on that rainy day, man, I was sitting in the back and I'm getting flung all over the truck as you're driving. And dude, you get a good core workout anyways, cause you got to kind of hold yourself centered. There's no seat to hold you. But, man, I thought today's the day I meet the maker.
You know what's funny about that? I think was it Friday? I think it was Friday. Was it Friday? It may have been Thursday. It's either Thursday night or Friday night. We're watching. It's after work. I'm at home, showered, watching the news.
Thank God you told us you showered, because that's an important detail.
And the mother-in-law, something was happening on the. They were talking about the storm coming through as if this is a Cat 5 hurricane. Hopefully you prepared. Hopefully, you're in a safe area. Watch out for the flooding and the wind. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's a fucking rainstorm. And it's the first rainstorm of the summer. We're going to go through this shit. It's South Florida. We go through this every year. And they're talking about this fucking
It could be a twice-a-week thing.
Twice a week? Jeez, twice a day maybe, towards like fucking mid-June, July. For those people who like don't or haven't been in South Florida, the summertime's a fuck show with the weather. It's always raining hard after about 4 o'clock.
The joke is you'll get rained on. It may be for 5 minutes, but at some point every day you'll get rained on.
So I'm just sitting there and I'm flabbergasted watching the news, and I'm like, this fear-mongering horse shit has now gotten us to now they're going to be like, now you got to get prepared now because, my God, the storm was almost a hurricane. It almost crept up on us. We almost died. So everyone's going to go out and buy all the rest of the shit that is barely available on the shelves. And I'm just looking at TV. I'm like, why do you watch this fear-mongering horse shit? CNN, NBC, Fox. It's all the same nonsense.
Well, that's local news.
It's just nonsense. All of it. Like, I think the only non-nonsense fucking news source that my mother-in-law watches is the BBC.
See, we're straying from your insanity to the world's insanity.
But hold on.
Okay.
She looks at me and she goes, you're very cynical. And I don't think she was expecting. I was like, I know, because of this horse shit right here, I don't have an opportunity to be anything but a cynical asshole and always think the other shoe's going to drop, always be prepared for the worst case scenarios, and always just be on the edge waiting for it to fall apart because that's just how things have gone in the last couple of years, man.
Yeah, it felt like you were in that truck trying to figure a way to tank it yourself with your apartment deal. And
And
I'm like, dude, just fucking chill.
No,
out.
I don't know, man. I need some Ritalin or something.
But then the funny thing is that you're like, this fucking bitch or this that blah 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 blah, and then when you're on the phone, you're all hugs and kisses with these people. And then the second you hang up, that fucking cunt, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my God. And like, I know you know what the right responses are to some of these things. And I listen to you talk to them, and you won't force the out. You like want them to fuck up so you can be mad, but then you're not mad at them. You're mad at everything else. So like, you're like, I forget what it was, but it was like one thing was like, oh, you're approved. But you're not approved by, like, I don't know, the next step up the chain or the final step.
The administrative.
And I'm like thinking, well, my response would be, well, so let's call him right now. Call him right now. And you just, like, let it sit there. Like oh.
I don't know, man. Listen,
it's like you gear up for this thing, and you want it to happen, and you subtly encourage it to go as south as possible.
I'm like an onion bin. I have many layers.
Yeah, they're all rotten.
Listen,
oh my God.
Listen. At the end of the day, it all worked out as it usually does because I make up this giant situation in my head that doesn't exist, and then when it happens normally, like we all know it's going to happen, I go, "Huh? Well, that was easy."
Your like internal organs are like 10 years older from the stress than your like external shell. From swallowing all this bottled up insanity and rage, and
I may have an unhealthy level of anger from time to time.
I mean the road rage is a whole nother subject. I mean that's entertaining, and when you're not like putting the entire scenario at risk with your like riding on someone's tail or cutting someone off, it's pretty fun to watch you just be irrationally mad at people. But this was next level shit. But whatever, you got the key. And
I got the key. We're now within a literal stone's throw of each other. So the Breakfast Club's studio / warehouse / everything else that we are and we are not is now our compound has grown.
I guess.
We just now have to buy all the apartments between us.
Right. You got within one stairwell.
Yeah.
You couldn't. We're not sharing the same stairwell, which is a shame. Because my drop-bys will lessen by about tenfold.
Yeah.
Because now I have to put shoes on and navigate a flight of stairs down and a flight of stairs up. When I could have just, if you had just gotten the one across the hall.
It wasn't available.
I could look out the peephole. I might not even have needed pants.
We'd have put one of those, we'd have got one of those like outdoor artificial grass strips just between the doors.
Yeah, just some AstroTurf.
Yeah. And you just know the maintenance people are like, what the fuck? Put like little decorative fences between the two.
Or we could do like a diagonal, like we could paint the floor like some kind of like a cornhole game or a shuffleboard game, and from our doorways we could play to each other.
So many possibilities were rendered obsolete because that apartment had already been taken.
Yeah. So
if I'd known about it a month ago, I would have jumped on it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think your wife's happy you're not that close. We're already too close, but you know, this might up the podcast schedule.
Well, I've got.
We might jump to 2 a week now that you're like.
We will definitely be able to work on the schedule them better, and maybe do them. I guess because I not for nothing. Now that like the world's starting to open up again, and I'm gonna be going back flying my planes and just other things like Saturdays. We might be doing this like a Wednesday or Thursday night. Would probably work out better. Because I don't know what's going on with the furlough files. Are we still doing that? Even, you know.
Oh, of course we are.
Oh, okay.
That's a discussion we get into too. We'll have to call him. But
we need to talk before he gets arrested or asked to leave. Actually, we need to be on the phone with him as he's being asked to leave.
I think.
Well, his daughter's like, I don't know who you are.
she's embarrassed by him.
Oh,
but that's nothing new. He doesn't even. It doesn't have to be an incident. It's just general life with him.
But it's all turned to 11 because of this.
Yeah. Well, before we get to him, I'll catch up on. I had 2 things that kind of have been triggering me. That, and they're really small things. But I had we had the maintenance guy come over to fix the garbage disposal, and early in the day, like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And when he walked by me, when I let him in the apartment, he stank. Like he had BO. Like he'd been out working, and it's South Florida. And it made me think about the thing that we had at work.
Oh, my goodness.
Where we had been working outside,
yeah,
digging and cursing and fighting with these things, and finally getting everything installed and whatever. And then we get back to the offices, and we smell like we've been working all day. But what are you going to do, you know? Yeah. And we're in the office, and our boss is there, and the lady who does like I don't know exactly what her job is, but like she handles like collections and
she handles all the permits, the payments,
right.
You know,
so she's in there,
the administrator basically.
She's in there with us for like 4 or 5 minutes while we're talking, and she abruptly gets up and
leaves
and storms out.
And it's funny because I didn't even notice.
I noticed, and our boss like looked at me and made like we met eyes and made that equally surprised look, like what's happening here.
I didn't notice it first, and then I guess you were looking at me, and then I looked over. I was like, oh, like uh-oh. Right. And I thought I was like, uh-oh, something happened. What did Seth say? Because I was like, did I miss it?
Right. Did he say something wrong?
Yeah.
Or did we do something?
Yeah.
Or are we being too loud?
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out.
Couldn't figure it out. Yeah. And then was it the next day, or was it that evening that you were? But either
it was the next day where he's like, "And guys, listen, like, you know, carry 2 shirts." And
I'm like, but this is the thing. It's like, okay, so she got up because we stank.
Yeah,
I get that. But then at the same point, we don't have to institute policies about like keeping an extra shirt in your bag. Dude, I got 3 work shirts. I'm supposed to wash them every day, you know, so that I have like an extra clean one for this. Buy me more work shirts and I'll do that. But
just take off your shirt when you're working.
Yeah, and or bring other shirts.
Barrel-chested bin.
But that, and then it was also like, and let's get some body spray in the truck and what. I'm like, and it's like, because we don't want customers. I'm like, the customers, just like this guy that fucking came to install my disposal. Like, what was I expecting him to smell like? The guy's outside. He's a maintenance guy for this, so he's outside. He's inside. He's all day he's working, like real work, like where you know, one of those jobs you shower after work, not before work, you know. Like, am I offended? He smells like he's been putting in a day's work. Now, granted, it was early, and like at 9:30, the reason I thought was it's like, oh, he smells surprisingly odd for this early, but who knows what the fuck he was doing before he came to my apartment. And so, but it made me think this, and I was like, because I remember when we were talking about it, I was borderline white privilege triggered with this shit, because I'm like, what the fuck, man? What are these? Nobody's gonna. Like, and when we deal with clients or whatever, the rare occasions that we deal with someone, it's like quick to get a signature, or we're talking, or it's a conversation, but we're rarely even inside a building when we're talking to them.
Yeah,
it's
not. We do a really good job just based on the job we have to have as very limited human interaction as possible.
Thank God, man.
I know.
Neither you or I are. Well, I'll lie. I that's a lie. I am not temperamentally suited to deal with other people, especially when they're idiots or pains in the asses. You have this phenomenal, very deceptive, because of what I just described before, customer service person that comes out almost like a split personality.
Well, thank you, Ben.
Where I
do my best
when you're on the phone and when you deal with people face to face. It's like a saccharine sweet. I almost get a cavity from how over the top fucking thank you, have a good day you are with these people. And I'm like, who are you right now? Where am I?
I'm a worker, daddy.
You are.
It's funny too because it's like, and you being around it now, like maybe now you can kind of understand how I don't understand how everyone thought I was this crazy psychopath. Because it's like, bro,
no,
bro, like
I'll tell you why. Because you are.
Oh.
You are. You are this ranting, raving lunatic. And here's where the psychopath comes, is that not only are you that, which would qualify you alone, but then at the snap of a finger,
I could be this perfectly reasonable.
That's even crazier. That makes you even crazier.
So what you're saying is they were all right about me.
Listen, they're not wrong to think it. I'm not saying they're right. They're not wrong.
They just don't understand the different layers of the onion.
Right. They haven't gotten to the really rotten parts. The 8th and 9th levels of hell that are your soul.
Yeah, no, it's I guess it's just, I don't know, and it's not something like that I actively like sought to like incorporate or cultivate. It's just ever since I was a kid, I'd be at work with my dad, and at a certain point when I was old enough, he would just let me deal with the customers because he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, go get a signature, or yeah, go tell him this, or what, and I was terrified of like talking to people because I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. If they asked me one question outside of the little bit of information that my dad had given me, my response to them would have been like, ah, and instead, it's like, so I'm like always trying to act like I know exactly what I'm talking about no matter what, just because I just didn't want that embarrassment. And of course, when you start that shit, you never fucking succeed. You just come off as a fucking idiot, doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. And then it pissed my dad off, because that meant he'd have to go talk to the customer. But over time, because I didn't want to piss him off, I got good at it. And then over more time, I guess it's cultivated, and I guess we can assume a completely different part of me that I guess you don't see unless you're working, or I'm working for you in like a clientele type
right
capacity.
Yeah, it's a rare thing, but it creeps out in these times.
I don't know. I just don't like. I don't know. Like I like to see people doing the right thing, not telling them what the right thing is to do. So like when it came to our the move-in this week, I just got to the point where like this bitch knows her fucking job. I'm gonna let her do her job.
Right, but I'm saying if look, because we're in this weird fucked up time where you can't even go into the office and talk to someone and get this done quickly.
Yeah, that was weird today. That was weird.
But the whole process.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That now you're like on this phone tag thing and this email tag thing.
Across a doorway.
No, but even before this.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, the whole process going up to this. Forget today.
You just the whole process
that
of
it's taking long, which is frustrating you, whatever. But you're instead of just saying something to expedite the process, you're letting these people, they may know what to do, but also, I know some work at home people. They ain't exactly getting up at the crack of dawn and cracking their knuckles and getting right to work. If you know, what I mean. Their day's probably starting at 2:30, and if you're calling them at 3, they probably haven't even finished their. I gotta have a coffee before I'm functional. Shit. So that's my suspicion, but I could be wrong. Yeah. So let's. I'm dying to know. So let's call him up because
call the Kavorka.
That's funny. I don't know how many people get it. It's a Seinfeld reference.
If you're listening to this
But what was
podcast,
it like Greek Orthodox or something? They accused Kramer of having the Kavorka, which was a character that is irresistible to women, and he was or had the Kavorka, and that's his nickname in our. Let's see if he picks up, or if he's in mid
mid-rant.
Mid-battle. Or he might not answer. We'll see.
Yeah, you know.
But this is very interesting. We got to cover a couple topics with him anyways. So
hello?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
How's Target?
I'm angry.
I saw the post on the thread, and I was like, Ben, we got to call AJ now before he gets arrested or asked to leave.
Well, it's fresh.
Honestly,
We need to
call. If you would have called 10 minutes earlier, it would have been gold, because I was verbally angry.
See, I told you.
But he said, okay, in my defense, I messaged Anthony way earlier and said, we might call you. And he said, all right, just give me a heads up. So I gave him a heads up and said, we'll call you in 10 to 15. And, okay, it's 20 minutes later. But whatever.
I knew it. I knew in the middle of Target he was so triggered that he was just going to start fucking it up.
I'll get the spare going.
I'm so
again.
angry it hurts. My head hurts.
So start at the beginning.
All right, we get to Target.
Uh-huh.
And it's the lines. I can see right away the lines are. I mean, we're back into like the end of the store. That's how deep the lines are. So I mean, it's a Saturday, right? It's a Saturday. It's the first weekend really that everything is open. So
is it like
I was Mr. Target?
Is it fully open, or is it like they're still capping?
We're fully
number of people in there.
Here.
Okay.
We don't have caps. It's game on here.
Okay.
So if I'm Mr. Target, I'm putting 75 cashiers on. We're full blown. We're on. We're going. Like today's the day. Like It's gonna be the most busiest day, right? Like this is it. They have like 4 registers open, like they're trying to be Walmart, and then the 8 registers of self checkout, they only have 1 open out of the 8, and they're not telling you until you're in the line for 15 minutes that, oh, sorry, it's Apple Pay or cash only at self checkout. You cannot use credit card.
What? How is that even a reality?
What is the logic of it? I don't understand.
How do you is that something like they're down, or is this a new policy?
No, this is the new way. It has nothing to do with them being down. It's the new way.
No more credit cards. Is there a logic behind that, or
only on self checkout though?
Oh,
okay. That doesn't.
But then when you go,
but that doesn't make sense either.
No, and self checkout was a shorter line, so I was in it for like a good minute until she decides to tell me 10 minutes in that it's only Apple Pay or cash. First of all, who carries cash? I mean, it's 2020. That's number one, right?
I do
number
sometimes.
2, I was gonna say probably you only, but then Apple Pay, like I don't use it at stores. Like I don't ever use Apple Pay, so it's not like I would use it. Like I don't use it at Target. I don't use it anywhere, right? So I'm like, I'm angry. I'm angry to start already. I'm angry. And now I'm waving people on. Everybody, these masks. Oh, this whole thing. So then we do our shopping, and I don't follow 6 feet. I don't follow that shit.
You're that guy.
It's a normal day to me, right? So.
But you have a mask on. At least you're.
Oh no, I'm not wearing a mask.
Oh, you don't have a mask.
Wear masks here. Who wears masks?
He's a maskless bandit.
Oh, he's like that fucking barefoot guy at Home Depot the other day.
You're the barefoot guy. That's right.
There's no mask on. So I'm out. Lex is with me. My daughter's with me. We have no masks on. We're probably the only 2 people. So we're out here with no masks on. We're because you can't build immunity walking around like you're living in a bubble your whole life. You ever see the movie Bubble Boy? I mean, that tells us what's going to happen.
Sir Jake Gyllenhaal turned into a god.
Right. So here's the deal, though. So we get in line, and so now, like, in line, nobody's following 6 feet. Everybody's, like, touching each other. The best part is, my favorite person out of all of this is the guy who wears the mask for 25 minutes while shopping in Target, but then puts it around his chin for the 15 minutes he's in line. Like,
I'll tell you where
I need an explanation.
I know exactly. I'm right in that guy's head. Here's the thought process. is that I've been wearing this mask and I've been breathing and it's now getting all humid in there and I'm uncomfortable and eventually enough's enough. I got to take it down and breathe some normal air. That's what happens.
Okay, but
I almost did that at Home Depot. We were waiting so long for that monk.
Well, here's my question.
That's when you get Rona'd.
Yeah, well.
So here's my question. Does the virus pick and choose when it gets you? Like,
no,
oh, he's in line.
Well, we're gonna
relax for a minute.
Again, he may be like me, only wearing it because I'm supposed to wear it, not because I give a shit about catching something.
AJ, we all know the coronavirus. It lies in wait for you to take that mask off. It just follows you around the store. It's it hides in clothing. It hides.
You know what it's like?
It's like shadows.
It's like an RKO. It comes out of nowhere.
The funniest.
That's it.
The funniest gag would be like you're walking around a crowded place, and you have the mask around your neck, but as you get around certain people, you pull it up and give them a funny look.
Gotta put it on.
And when they walk away, you pull it down and make them like self-conscious, like you think they're dirty.
Like, oh, they got it. I gotta put it on.
Or even, I mean, if this was the 70s, it would be more of a racist joke. But
yeah.
Watch it, Ben. You're getting into prime territory here.
Yeah, I looked at you and I said it. But
Hey, yeah. Now I'm in Home Depot, so.
Oh, is it the same bullshit? There any guys walking around Home Depot with those shoes on?
No, and I will tell you, Home Depot is it's way calmer in here.
Yeah, because it's for men. It's for real men, not stupid men. Right. It's for people who have shit to do and shit that needs to get done, and they don't have time for this horse shit nonsense that our country's going through.
Right. Like, we're in here. We gotta go. That's it.
So go back. So they tell you can't use, credit cards. So what do you do?
So I had to get out of line, go to another line that had like people in it, and then stand there. And then here's the best part. You ready for this?
But are you being like loud, complaining guy?
Yes, like everybody can hear me. Lex is embarrassed. And then she's so loud. I'm saying loud. Yeah, I'm so loud. So then, wait, we get into this line, and it's like one line, but splits into two. Like when you get to a certain point, you pick the fork in the road. Well, I pick the lane there's nobody in it. So I go to the right, and these two people who had no masks on, so I felt like we were on the same team. So they only had one item, and I was like, you guys can go ahead of me, whatever. So they get in line, and then I'm behind them, and we're like, we're ready because now we're in the line with nobody in it. What do you think happens? The cashier is an issue and has to step away. So now the line that I would have been in is already like it's past me, and now that we're waiting.
I was going to say that the cashier was closing, but that's the same thing basically.
And in typical, dad, I'm my father now. Like I've realized that. I say to the guy, "Man, I shouldn't have followed you in this line." And Lex tells me I was rude. That was rude. I felt like he needed to know that he chose the wrong line. Like we may be no mask brothers, but he put me in a bad situation.
You picked poorly for the whole team.
Right. Right. So now I'm even more angry, and I'm vocal about it. Like, come on. I mean, really, like.
You've had to change lines twice now.
Twice.
Yeah.
Right. And now I'm in a different line and whatever. But the process, she was nice, the cashier. She wasn't mean or anything. She apologized.
Oh, I'm sure you gave her an earful of your problems.
Oh no, she was okay. It wasn't her fault.
No, but I'm saying, that subtle like kind of complaining about what just happened to you. Yeah.
Right.
Like she gives a fuck,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But she apologized. But like the fact that Target literally like it's just
so they
going away.
Is it not they didn't hire enough people to work today or something?
I guess. I don't know what the deal is.
Or is everyone in back laughing watching the fucking monitors?
Right. I don't know. But the whole we've lost common sense as a society. We've lost our immunity, I'll tell you that much. Everybody's gonna be sick because, kids aren't gonna be able to eat dirt anymore and pick their nose and eat it. It's gonna be not allowed anymore. But
right.
The whole thing. I'm so angry. I almost should go home and start over tomorrow.
Speaking of starting over, I know that we're edging close to our. What are we going to weigh in Tuesday on the Furlough Files? That airs Wednesday
Tuesday.
For our weight loss
Tuesday.
challenge.
When does this challenge start? When are you starting it?
So I guess officially, it starts Tuesday because that's when we record, and it'll go live Wednesday.
Right.
And so he and I will weigh in at that time. Maybe we'll get on a scale, take a picture, and give a verbal number. Have we figured out what the penalty is going to be for the loser of this thing?
No, we have not.
We're going to have to come up with that between now and then, unless Marco has some brilliant idea right now.
What's the winner getting?
I mean, the winner gets the satisfaction of the loser having to do something.
Really,
There's no cash prize. It's just a humiliation for the loser.
Here's the problem. The problem is you have to get really creative with this because there's not a whole lot that humiliates either one of you guys.
You'd be surprised.
Well, neither of us like losing. That's the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not.
So, I don't like losing, especially to Ben.
Hey, and listen, here's the good thing, is that Friday was National Pizza Party Day. So I felt obligated to go off my diet. And so I'm bulking up, getting ready for this challenge just like you. I had a whole pizza last night. And the problem was, and you saw it, you sent it to me. What was funny is I woke up and I screen capped it. I was going to send it to you and then realized you'd already sent it to me. Was that the pizza place sent me a message saying that you post more than we do about our food. We want to offer you a free meal. And so I'm trying to push it for today. So I
was bumping because I'm like, did Ben just work himself into a free meal?
Yeah.
Like how Ben Temples is this? Jackie would have been dying right now.
This is great, but I don't want it to be something that lingers into the diet. So I either need it today or tomorrow. But the sooner better, because that stuff will make me sick. But I'll be happy to eat it because it's free.
It's just fantastic that these sponsorships and this kind of stuff is slowly starting to creep up ever so slowly.
In. Speaking of which, did you ever get your Instagram or TikTok sponsorship? Whatever it was.
I don't have anything. What was it? Because this is the funny thing. This is gonna be funny because when I saw the email to you, the message to you, I was like, wait, I think there was something I was supposed to get, but I couldn't remember what.
Didn't you have a guy that wanted you to have his website in your TikToks for a week or two?
That's what it was. Yeah. So he.
How do you forget this?
How do you leave money on the table?
Good question. And so I forgot what it was. And here's the funny part. He called and I didn't know the number, so I didn't answer it.
Oh, you dummy.
And he didn't leave a message. So
no, I feel
called
that.
My brother, and my brother's like, yeah, just call him back this week. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm going to call him this week. I forgot.
Oh, so it's not dead. Yeah. It's not dead.
Yeah.
It's
not dead.
But I 100% feel that if you don't leave a message and I don't know your number, I am not calling back.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, come on. That's like, you got to leave a message in this day and age.
Yeah, if you're not going to text, have the courtesy to at least leave a message, because I ain't answering that fucking phone.
Right. leave a message. Yeah, right.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, no. Sponsorships they're starting to fall from the sky here.
Yeah, right.
They are. I mean, I cannot believe you're getting free pizza out of this.
It may not be pizza. They said it was called a family dinner. They said.
Oh, my God.
I haven't yet told them that I've got 10 people in my family.
I have a feeling that, Marco, you're getting a free dinner tonight.
It's gonna have. Well, you know what? Tonight's the UFC fights, so I'll definitely be around,
okay.
and I'm gonna do a couple trips from the storage unit to the apartment, so I'll be around.
I feel like you're getting a meal out of this.
I feel
if they see, here's the problem. Here's the real problem with all of it is that if they don't check the Instagram message, like if they're not on every day, then
I almost feel though you should call and be like, hey, this is the Breakfast Club. This is the Breakfast calling.
Oh wait. While we were talking, I checked the Instagram thing, and it's okay. So I reply. Okay, let me read you the whole thing since I got it here. It says, Brizcliz, thanks for the support. You know we strive for the best, and I'm overwhelmed that you enjoyed our food. I'm reading it as they wrote it because it's funny that this person can't write. Please let us give you a family meal on us because of everything that you do for Davy's Best. You post more videos of us than us. I think that means us than us.
Yeah.
Just let me know, and we'll cook it for you with love. So I said, oh, wow. I go, oh, well, that sounds great. We'll be home tonight after 7 if that works, or some other day and time. And then I reply again, oh, and thank you so much, because I had forgotten to actually thank them. And so they just replied about an hour ago, perfect. I'll send you a DM later today. Thank you so much. So
they slid in those DMs, man.
Well, we're in the DMs already. That's the funny thing.
This is huge. This is a big deal.
So we'll have to document the free food that's coming. And I guess it's coming tonight, my friends. So while we watch the fights, whatever they...
Wow.
I sent it to Valente, too, just to make her jealous. Because she's one of my Vanquish pizza opponents. And she's like, you should push for chicken parm. And I'm like, listen, they're giving me free food. I'll take whatever they give me.
And who is she to pick?
Right. Although she ain't wrong about the chicken parm.
She's not, but there's two things. One, well, I mean, she shouldn't be picking anyway.
Well, wait.
It's your meal. And two, what has she ever won?
Damn.
Who's she ever beat?
Damn.
Right.
Well,
she didn't beat you.
Never mind.
Well, yeah.
We can get into that.
Hey, I bet you she's beaten 450 people.
You know what? I'm just
I could rattle off a few more names.
I'm just gonna leave this as a situation that I'd rather not have heat in and move on.
Well, it's not like she's gonna listen. Come on.
No, but someone might.
Oh, if it gets too rough, I'll tell her. Tell her we roughed her up on the podcast.
Yeah.
What is going on there?
We got cars beeping. It's probably coronavirus related. The cars beeping.
Oh, are you out of Home Depot now?
I can't stay in there. It's mass chaos.
You were just saying it wasn't that bad.
I'm looking for a ride-on mower, but their selection is like really poor.
How big's your lawn?
2 acres.
Okay, I was gonna accuse you of being fat and lazy, but I said, hold on, let me check and see how big the lawn is.
No, I can't. There's no way I could do that by hand. I'd die.
Well, that's why you have young kids.
It'll kill his kids.
Well, listen, the guy I was paying $80 every 2 weeks. It takes him an hour and a half to do the yard and like
on a riding lawnmower, right?
On a riding, right? So if I have to push one, it's going to be a weekend project.
So at my old family house, we were on an acre, and it would take me about 3 hours with a push lawnmower. So you're looking at almost 6. Yeah. You're looking at a full 8-hour day to do your lawn.
But
fuck that.
But Anthony, if you split that up every day, that's a good workout for this weight loss challenge.
Oh my God, you'll.
Right, but I was thinking. I'm thinking more because I'm a cheap bastard. It's $1,400 for the ride-on, or do I just go with the $200 push one and die? And I was like, no, you know what? It's not worth it,
brother.
It still might be more worth the $80 every other week.
You just do us a favor and make sure you film you riding this thing.
Well, here's my
that's
first
some TikTok stuff.
If I'm riding, I can drink a beer while riding.
Drink
or a water during the contest.
Right.
Because I can't lose to you.
You're gonna lose.
It's not happening.
I feel like you might have short-circuited your system, and that your metabolism is fried now, and that no matter how hard you try, it's going to be slow going for you.
You missed it, AJ. I was telling Ben, I was like, when you guys first talked about having a weight loss challenge, I was like, well, I should do the reverse. While it should be you guys losing weight and me gaining some of my weight back. But then I realized, like, you are infamous for, like, whenever you really want to lose weight, it just falls off your body.
Right. But I'm also infamous for putting it right back on.
But I can't put on weight that fast.
He is the human yo-yo.
Yeah.
Literally. I'm 272. I was last week. But I think I'm going to weigh less. Ben, you got an advantage because I went back to work. And
I have no advantage. I've been putting weight on, man.
Ben works too.
Yeah. No, because he's not holding the weight.
On.
Oh.
Right. I'm not holding the weight up of 272 because I went from eating 17 meals a day to eating 2 and maybe a snack for the last 5 days.
On the furlough files, we had decided that it's probably actually takes work to keep that weight up there, and
right.
that while you're working, you can't put that in.
and my first meal hasn't been till either some like 12 between 12 and 2 was my first meal this whole week because I couldn't take a lunch because I was busy and stuff. So you have an advantage here now because it's gonna be I'm not gonna be as fat.
Listen, let's just
unless I could pile it on this weekend though.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm doing. Unfortunately, although if this Davy thing comes through today, Davy's Best Pizza, here's your free plug. That I'll just gorge tonight and tomorrow I won't eat, but we'll see.
Yeah, I had French toast this morning, so.
I know I saw you cooking it on the on one of these social medias, and I called you fat.
I called you fat.
Well.
So I'm done with Home Depot, and now I'm going to go to Starbucks because Lex wants Starbucks, and then we're going to go to Aldi's because they got the best pizza in the world. And I'm wearing them out with the pizza. Yesterday I went pepperoni and sausage.
Buddy, you need to get a bigger freezer.
I think I need a second freezer.
You need one of those freezer chests just for all these pizzas.
Right. And then where else are we going? I think that's it for the day. We've got nothing accomplished. We've bought nothing.
You didn't even get anything at Target? Or you did?
I did get stuff at Target, but it wasn't like... I still have to go food shopping. And Publix, Publix, I don't get as angry in Publix because they have they'll have 20 cash registers open. Good flow. Everybody's cool. Like, it's just a different environment. Like, Target, it was insane.
I hate Target. I was telling the wife the other day, I'm like, I don't understand why Target's so popular. There's nothing ever in there that I want. Ever.
Honestly, it's because Walmart, I refuse to go to Walmart. Like, I refuse. I don't care if I'm going to pay $100 more. I will not go to Walmart because it is just such a shit show of human beings.
See, this is all your latent Boca privilege that you grew up with, speaking right here, because I love Walmart.
Yeah, okay, listen, but my Walmart here, like, the lady attacked me twice already. I forgot to get a cart, and I was gonna get one thing, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna get a couple things, and I went back out the indoor, the alarm went off.
This story.
Twice it's happened to me now, and I'm like being attacked for going back out the doors, and honestly, I was going to buy a TV, and she pissed me off, so I decided not to buy a TV, and I walked out.
Damn.
They're still stinging from that one.
Ow.
You not buying that TV.
Right. I bought it at Target instead.
That's funny. Yeah, so the way the competition's on, I don't want to drain you of all your stories. I don't want the Furlough Files to just be a repeat.
You can't drain the story balls right now.
But I did save some conversations that we may touch on if nothing happens between now and then. And I'm not convinced something else won't happen to you over the weekend.
Yeah, it's still only Saturday.
It's early.
You seem to be a heat magnet these days. So.
Oh,
I'm very angry today. Very, very angry today.
It's funny too. I'm having a good day. AJ's having a bad one.
Well,
Oh, this is unbelievable.
You should have seen Marco this week. He was just building rage, building this scenario in his head about how he wasn't going to get this apartment and all the people he was going to murder and et cetera, et cetera.
Oh my God.
And then it all worked out. Now he's. I've never seen a more serene, zen.
Well,
I'm like an eagle on a mountain.
Getting the new apartment.
Right. Getting away from the crowded environment and the
no more cats.
No more cats.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Cats.
Ugh. Oh, let me tell you about cats.
I hate cats,
dude. I think I hate.
I gotta order Starbucks here, so I don't want to yell over you guys.
No,
Lex's order is. Let me see. It's a Twix Frappuccino. Ask for, and it lists like 17 things. So.
Oh my goodness! See. Good thing she's a kid still. She can recover from all that sugar.
Right.
Well, all right. Go do your business, man.
Yeah.
We just wanted to.
We'll talk to you later, brother. Don't get arrested today.
Yeah. Stay out of jail.
Don't Karen it up.
Hey, if you get a call from an unknown number, answer it.
Okay.
10-4.
Could be me.
Could be David's Best Pizza too.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Later, brother.
So let me tell you about fucking cats.
By the way, 3 Davy Best plugs in like 5 minutes. Well done,
it's
sir.
the same. They benefit nothing from 12 people listening. unless they're within the delivery zone, which I don't know.
What you need to do is you need to start telling people, hey, order from Davy's Best. And when you do, let them know.
The Breakfast Club sent you. There you go.
After a while,
Listen.
we're going to have part of the franchise. All right. So, Ben, I heard Cats was a terrible movie, an okay play, but what are you talking about? No.
So, this conversation happened earlier, but we're going to...
And we stopped it.
We're going to reiterate it because your wife has cats. But
my wife's family has like 9 cats.
9? Yeah. I thought you had like 2 or 3. What the fuck?
Hold on,
dude. How are you not like?
You want me to?
Have you not caught like some septic disease from all this shit?
I'm gonna name them all off right now. Hold on. I'm gonna name them all off.
Dopey, sneezy, fucking sleazy.
We've got
Rudolph.
We've got my favorite, which is Chappie.
Chappie.
He's an outdoor indoor cat. We've got Red, who's an outdoor indoor cat. We have Elsa, who's an indoor cat. We have Peaches, who's an indoor cat. We have Louie, who's an indoor kind of outdoor cat. We have Jack, who's an indoor outdoor cat. Mama, which is an outdoor cat only. Buddy, which is an outdoor cat only. And because the mother-in-law feeds the cats outside like 3 times a day, and there's constantly food out there, we now have a raccoon.
See, the raccoon is interesting, and I wish there was I wish we had lots of video of this raccoon.
I've only seen the raccoon once. I didn't know it existed. I didn't believe it existed. I thought.
And now you're moving away. We'll never get footage of this.
I have one picture of the raccoon, and we had like a staring contest.
Very disappointed.
And then one of the cats chased her away.
2 things now on my list of to-dos. I need footage of this raccoon doing raccoon things. I mean, if they're not wiring a spaceship or building a gun, at least stealing the cat's food. Okay?
Yeah.
And 2, I still need to get footage of that Hitler cat.
Oh, my mom's house?
That lives at your mom's house.
Yeah.
Okay, this cat.
This cat is older than sin, first
I don't give a fuck how old it is.
Yeah.
The point is...
She's like 14, 15.
It has a Hitler stash.
She does.
It has the marking like a Hitler stash. Mm-hmm. And on top... It's got the markings of like the black Hitler hair in the same swoop and comb over that fucking guy had.
Plus, the cat has lived a really rough life.
Can you teach that cat to raise one arm? Dude, you know how much money we could make off of its one good year left if we could teach it to reach up with one paw?
Well, what if we just tie a string to the one paw and, we sit there, we do some Hollywood, we get...
I'm in. I would handle a cat for that.
Yeah.
As allergic as I am, I'd Benadryl myself up. If we could make some...
You're like Bane fighting Batman. Dude, you just stuck all the steroids for like 15 minutes.
We take like fucking some audio from some of his famous speeches, all in German. Oh and just God. Every time you hear the crowd go, Sieg Heil, he raises his fucking arm. Maybe we can get a little cap.
I don't know if clothing's going to be a part of this. We'll be lucky to get a fucking fishing wire.
Dude, all you need to do is get close enough and already have the super glue on the fucking hat. And then just you need 1 second to get it right on his head.
Someone in Peter's head just exploded right now listening to that. You super glue the cap on, and then what you do is you hit it a few times so you get it numb so you can grab the arm.
The problem is the hat hides the Hitler hair.
And part of the appeal and charm of all this is the fact of the hair and
the mustache itself. I mean, lots of animals have that marking, but to have that with the black hairline that comes down over the forehead and combs over, just like Hitler. Yeah. I'm describing it. Everyone's seen Hitler. You know what his fucking hair looked like. He looked like a greasy son of a bitch that used to paste it down to his forehead.
Just be careful Googling Hitler, because that might put you on some kind of weird list.
we might be on that.
Bro, I'm 100% on it.
No, we might be on it right now for saying Hitler.
Oh yeah. Well, I know I'm on it because like I love like World War II. I love the whole history of everything like that, and I've done a lot of viewage on all that stuff. So
I'll tell you,
that'll totally put me on a watch list.
I'm way more on the watch list than you.
Do you own Nazi memorabilia?
I've bought Nazi memorabilia.
That's right. Holy shit.
For the fucking the cosplay wrestling.
I forgot all about
I had to go online and look up Nazi costumes and Nazi armbands and Hitler's hat and this and everything for that little guy Kurt to wear when he we did a thing at SuperCon where this one of the wrestlers was Captain America, and so we had Red Skull and we had Hitler, and we played Springtime for Hitler through the music. It was in great taste, and it was hilarious, and we handled it well, except for the fact that there were like 3 people, like 4 people way in the back
popping for Hitler
in the crowd. Popping for Hitler and giving the salute.
Which is not something that the most heel-minded human beings that we are.
We were like, oh my God.
Just the assholes and everything else we are. None of us came to the conclusion that Hitler was going to get over. Right. and we're just like, huh. Well, that's a thing that we're going to have to discuss later.
We'll have to talk about the good parts of that weekend at some point. But let's backtrack. So I'm definitely on a watch list because I have bought even if it's props and not authentic memorabilia. I've bought a Nazi costume.
Well, like what kind of?
I've bought 2. I bought stuff for the Red Skull one also.
But let me ask. Okay, so not that I say, which for the sake of,
you're struggling with your words.
No, I had to burp. Where do you even buy that kind of stuff these days? Like, do you have to go to like a historical society? Is there like,
it's a costume, it's a costume shop, like an online costume shop.
Okay.
But it may just be a front, and for the fact that they're selling to like fucking,
Was this place in Alabama by any chance?
Hey, that's a good question. I bought that shit like 6 years ago, so I don't remember.
Is it the back of the store a bunch of little pointy hoods?
Right. That's what I'm thinking, is that it was a front. They're like, oh, listen, this is for historical purposes only and for costuming.
It's like porn stores that sell incense because it counts as inventory. Every stick counts as inventory. So they sell incense, and they have a big section of it because they needed to have more non-porn inventory than actual porn inventory.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. I had it explained to me one time because I was at I was like 20 or whatnot, with a friend in a porn store, and I just asked the clerk, and I was like, "Why is there so much incense?
Yeah.
What's with the?" I'm like, I don't understand it. I mean, we're all men in our 20s. We grew up with the internet. We understand everything that's in the store for the most part. What the fuck is with the incense? I missed that part of the internet.
But I've literally never chosen to have my house smell like any of these sticks.
Yeah. And he's like, well, because of Florida federal regulations, we need to have more non-porn inventory, blah, blah, blah. And every stick counts as, so they have like 4,000 stick. And I'm just like, what a fucking work.
But that's clever.
Yeah, that's fucking real clever. And so when you go in like a porn store, and a lot of them now have like smoke shops, all that not porn shit, that's the actual store. That's what legally allows them, at least in the state of Florida, is what I'm to understand. That allows them to have all the porn material.
Even though the sign out front says adult video outlet or whatever. Yeah.
It's by the way, like at this point, like, and I haven't been in a fucking porn store in years, but do they even sell videos anymore? You get the fucking internet.
Yeah, you can buy DVDs. You can buy DVDs, but you go in there. I think the DVDs are an impulse buy. I think you're going in there for rubber dicks and boas and all that kink stuff. Yeah. Well, not necessarily kink stuff, but vibrators and dildos and
like clothing and whatnot,
and lubricant and all that shit.
Okay,
like fuck paraphernalia.
And then while you're in there, you're like, 2 midgets on a swan. All right, let's do it.
Right. Right, because not everything's on the internet, but you don't know where on the internet.
Yeah, and maybe you don't want your search history to reach that far.
Right, especially if you share a computer with someone like your wife.
Oh,
so the cats.
So
fuck cats. Fuck cats. I'll tell you why. I'm not making a case for dogs. I'm just saying compared to a dog, it's night and day. Yes, a dog you have to walk, but the dog has a decency, unless he's willfully evil or sick, or you haven't taken him out in a while, that he's not gonna piss and shit in your house. A cat, unless you have all this indoor-outdoor shit that you're talking about, most people have a fucking box in their home that the cat pisses and shits in, and then you have to scoop it, so you got to handle it, and then B, when it's sitting in a box in your home, you've got piss and shit in your house, and you don't know when the cat went. There's no buzzer that goes off on your phone or anything like that. And even if it's a short period of time, you're still two things. You're having to clean piss and shit all the time. And two, it's in your house. You're breathing it. It's whatever. Two, that asshole cat that's pissing and shitting it, at least it shits in a litter box. But that litter box, they've now trounced through a gazillion times with their feet, with piss, with shit, and with the sand or whatever that's in there. And then they're on your fucking dining room table. And they're on your fucking counter you cook the food with. And they're pointing their asshole at everything at a higher level than a dog. The dog's like coffee table height. Dog might sit on your couch, but he ain't walking around on your dining room table where you eat. He ain't walking around where you cut your fucking raw chicken. He ain't. It's disgusting. I don't understand how people don't get that. I mean, I get it. Oh, how can you sleep with your dog? There's levels to this. I get it. How can you, there's people that can, let their dog lick them on the face. I'm guilty of that. Everyone could say, well, that's disgusting. But, dude, the cat just walked in its own fucking shit and piss box, and now it's on your fucking dining room table. Get the fuck out of here. What are we talking about here? And then here's why I compare a cat and a dog. You can find a loving cat. You can find a loyal cat. You can find a cat that's happy to see you whenever you're around and doesn't leave you alone. But you can have the most fucking asshole cat in the world that don't want to have anything to do with you.
And you're obligated
no
to
matter
take
how
care
good
of.
you take care of it and whatever else. And he's shitting in your shoes. And he's fucking, every time you come near to pet him, he hisses at you or scratches you. And it wakes you up at all hours on its schedule, its demands. The percentage of that compared to dogs, where if you don't beat your dog, if you feed it regularly, walk it regularly, that dog 99% of the time is going to be your best friend and love you and all that shit. Mm-hmm. Cats, I don't know if it's 50-50.
Yeah.
It's a crapshoot, man.
It really depends on the cat.
And so that's, yes, okay, there's outliers. There's asshole dogs too. But they're way more product of how you kind of bring them up than cats are.
My favorite part about all of this.
Fuck cats, man.
My favorite part.
I hate, and I'm allergic. More people are allergic to cats than dogs. Dude, boom, I'm done with my rant.
Favorite part about this entire conversation was it exploded from Ben almost, just unannounced. We weren't really even I wasn't debating. I was just saying that my wife had broached the idea of a cat in the house. And I said, we'll wait 6 months and figure it out. And, that to me is, I don't really want an animal right now. I would like just me and my wife, live alone for a while, enjoy each other, kind of get in the flow of, being on our own. And then, maybe a year down the road, we'll introduce a fucking cat, baby, what have you.
A cat baby?
Woo, cat or baby.
Is that a baby with cat-like traits? Or are we talking about a kitten?
Well, another living creature into our midst, and Ben just burst right into this whole, just immediately triggered right. Oh, fuck cats! And we went off into it, and it's just amazing. You had to make sure I knew exactly how you fucking felt about even the idea of a fucking feline in our apartment.
If she don't want me popping in,
get a cat.
Get a fucking cat.
Natalia, you hear that?
I'm so allergic to those things too. That may pepper my fucking meal a little bit when it comes to cats, but it doesn't change my points. And it's hard. Listen, I get there's always an outlier, but for the most part, most people can't argue those points I made. Yeah. It's hard. No. I mean, dogs can suck.
Yeah.
And I had a dog for 14 years, and literally anyone that met that dog would tell you it was one of the greatest dogs in the world. But he was like a special case. Mm-hmm. I would literally get the exact same breed and call it the same exact thing and just pretend it's the same dog. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd still call. I wouldn't even say my dog's name was Luger. Yeah. My girlfriend at the time had named him after Lex Luger, the wrestler.
Luger 2, Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah, I wouldn't even do that. I would just call him Luger because I would get the exact same breed because I liked it.
Would you treat him exactly as you treated the other one, as if you guys had that same innate connection?
I'd try at first. Okay. His personality may be different, but I would try. I would, because I know that I would miss, my mom had 4 kids, and no matter which kid she was talking to, she'd rattle off the other 3 names first before they.
Yeah, my dad did the same thing famously all the time.
I know I'd be doing that with my dog.
Yeah.
So why not just call him the same thing? It's not like he's got a brother standing next to him that's called that's gonna get mad.
I could see
like in our house.
I could see you getting crazy. Like you start doing the hey Luger, and then your dog and the new Luger starts to act like the old Luger, but it's just doing that because it's a dog. But then you start going like, hey man, I think my dog's my dog, and that kind of weird shit starts. Like the more like weeks go by, like he never skips a beat. He just keeps reacting the same way as the old one would. And as we're working, I just realized like, oh, Ben's 100% convinced that this dog is his old dog, even though the only thing the new dog has done is react positively in kind of the same way. Because after a while, he just has to do it once or twice, kind of like the old Luger, and then you're hook, line, and sinker.
But it'd be funny because it would be like stupid shit, like, oh, he likes the same food.
Yeah.
It's like every dog's going to eat the food you feed him.
And like he likes playing with a rope or something.
Right. Oh, it's like every dog. Like, oh, when he goes out, he gets, because he's a big fuzzy dog, he gets shit stuck on the back of his fur, just like the old dog.
I could totally see that fucking happening.
Just like that irrational shit people do. Yeah. So fuck cats.
Oh, shit. Fuck cats.
So when we were at, I haven't even told you this story yet.
Uh-oh.
Remember when we went to Publix? I guess it was Friday?
Yeah.
During work. So we pop in for lunch. And, anytime, listen, I drink a lot of fluids during the day. I pee a lot. Sometimes I pee in a jug in the back of the van when we're working. And other times when we're at a Publix, I take advantage of the fact we're at a place with a public toilet and I go. I didn't even have to. I did have to pee. But I was, you use a urinal because we're men and whatever. I don't need a stall. But when I went in there was a guy washing his, it was the busiest bathroom I've ever seen for the coronavirus times. There was a guy washing his hands, and in the urinal next to him, there was a guy peeing. So I go and tug on the stall door, and it starts to open. So I start walking in. There's a fucking dude sitting there taking a dump ski. He looks up at me shocked. He's on his phone, just like leaned over with one arm. You leaned over with your elbow on your thigh and kind of at a lean. The other arm's kind of up in the air. And you got your phone in your lean hand that's supporting your body.
And you're not really doing anything. You're just buying time.
You're either, because it's either like you've already finished. Yeah. You're just in the middle of your interneting. Or you're in the process and you're just waiting for the next contractions to deliver the second baby. And so he looks up and then he starts to get up. And I go, dude, sit the fuck down. And I slam the door. And I go, what dumb motherfucker? Like, I just yelled this with everyone in there. What dumb motherfucker doesn't lock the door? And then the guy washing his hands, who had a hairnet on, so I assume he worked at Publix, starts, laughing uncontrollably, which eggs me on. Yeah. And I start to, doing, a little bit of a rant/comedy routine with
That's
this.
fantastic.
I'm like, is this guy did he want someone to come in and join him? Is this some gay thing? But he wasn't ready yet. He's still taking care of his shit business. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And the guy's sheepishly being quiet and trying to, I don't know if he was trying. I think he was just trying to be as still as possible until everyone involved disappeared. Me and the other two people left. Yeah. And then he was going to
recompose himself.
Then he was going to take care of his paperwork and get out of there, but
he did the whole, if I stay still long enough, they don't know I'm here.
I was like, oh my God. I totally forgot. Because then you go to then I'm coming out there and I'm fresh with a story, but I got distracted by shopping and getting lunch. And then by the time we got in the van, I totally forgot to tell you about that. But he was just totally surprised.
That's right, because you got to tell me a story. But I was going off. Because the fucking lady, the experience I had at Publix trying to get my wrap. When I go up, I asked for a wrap, and she's like, "Well, you sure that's what you want?" She's like, "We got this on special," and I'm like, "No, I just want this wrap." She goes, "But you could get this." I wanted a turkey, and it was I forgot what it was called, but it was turkey and salami. And I wanted the turkey salami wrap. And she said, well, the Italian is on sale. And I'm like, okay, I'll have an Italian wrap then. She goes, no, but only as a sub. I'm like, well, I just want a wrap. She's like, you sure this is cheaper? I'm like, I really, really just want my wrap. And she's like trying to sell me a fucking sub that I'm trying to be pleasant because we got there and there was only one guy in front of us, and the guy in front of us ordered like 5 fucking subs.
So you're waiting 20 minutes.
And I'm so angry at him.
It was funny. I was halfway through 20 wings in the truck before you guys came back.
Yeah.
Food.
And you were sitting there probably simmering on this fucking phenomenal story. But I come in.
Once I got into the food, I totally forgot.
And I come in house on fire because fuck this bitch. Just give me my goddamn wrap. Who cares? I don't care about price. I just want my wrap, man. Like, there's a lot of times I'll walk up with one thing in mind, and I'll say, hey, man, boar's head turkey, full sub. It's $5. I'm like, all right, that's a better idea. It happens a lot. But this particular instance, I'm like, I really just wanted a fucking wrap. And she just kept egging me. I remember I just came in the fucking van. I'm like, fuck, that's stupid. Fuck. And I shouldn't even be mad because she made my wrap excellent. I mean, she gave me like fucking 4 pickles in the goddamn thing, like 4 whole pickles worth of pickles. It was fucking crazy. She just starts dumping pickles on top, and I almost wanted to stop, but I'm like, nah, let's see where this goes, kind of thing. Like,
she's now in panic mode, trying to please you,
and the fucking
realizes she's triggered
condimented
the
it up
giant
and everything.
man.
And it was a fantastic wrap. But
she triggered the giant hungry man.
All I wanted was a fucking wrap, man. Like, I get it. You get more food. It's cheaper for the sub, but I didn't give a fuck about none of that.
It's just more bread.
It's basically more bread.
Food.
Yeah, it's basically more bread.
Whatever they put in a wrap, it's the same amount they put in a sandwich.
Yeah, so listen, man.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity. What's the difference between a wrap and a sandwich? Why do you go why would you fight this, almost fist fight this lady?
Because I just didn't want to eat a sub. I just wanted a wrap.
Okay.
I just wanted a wrap.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted. I did not want
I never
to eat a
see
sub.
you getting subs. I always see you getting wraps when it's an option.
So I just wanted a wrap, man.
All right.
That's all.
All right.
I mean, I'm not like you
I
and A.
I didn't know if there was like some if you had a traumatic bread incident.
No. No.
Or if there was some health thing, or if there was you wanted to save room for cookies. I didn't know what your deal was.
Because oddly enough, and just coincidentally enough with getting the apartment, while you and AG want to do this weight loss challenge, man, I really kind of want to start getting back into shape now. With no gyms and all that stuff, it's going to be difficult. But I have space now. I can free weight and body weight exercise all day, and at least like get the body, the muscles, and everything back.
I think the gym right here will be open soon.
I hope so, man. She gave me the key. She's like, it's a gym key for when it's open. We don't know when.
Was it key or a card?
Card.
Okay.
Card.
Just making sure, because we haven't used ours in a while.
Oh.
Maybe they changed the locks on us.
I just been wanting to get back into shape, and I haven't had the opportunity to. So.
Well, you saw my good intentions.
Yeah.
Hey, you're sitting right next to my my Bowflex dial from 10 to 90 dumbbells that have like half of my wardrobe laundry draped over. And the resistance cables are sitting there. And then in my doorway is the pull-up bar that I got recently that I've used like 6 times. I have got all the good intentions in the world, and just none of the motivation.
I'm ready to, man.
I'm ready. Well, now Anthony told me he's going to beat me. We're done here.
But
we're done here.
But I can't gain weight at the rate you guys will lose weight.
Well, that's always not the kind of weight you want to gain.
No, yeah, and not the kind of weight I want to gain.
I can gain weight way faster than I can lose weight.
It's very hard for me. It's always been very hard for me to gain weight in any capacity. Like I eat like a trash bin, and I've been losing weight over the past 6 months. So I actually have to be in shape to gain weight. I have to be working out to gain weight. It's like the only way I can truly like put any kind of mass on myself. So I'm thinking like, well, I can do body weight stuff for at least a month or 2 before I even really need. Cause
I saw Adrian's cousin Iris was like, and she posted a thing where she was jacked, and lean and whatever, and she posted that like for just like 6 months she was doing this routine every day. It was like X number of squats, X number of push-ups, X number of what are those things when you go all the way to the floor and then all the way up?
the CrossFit thing they do.
Well, it's not just CrossFit, but
the fuck are they called?
Right?
I don't do.
You know what I mean? You get down to like push-up position.
I think they're stupid. I don't do them, but burpees.
Burpees,
Yeah.
Those will wear you out fast.
Yeah, I just
pull-ups. It was like a list of like 5 things, but it was like 200 of this, 100 of this, blah blah blah. And I mean, dude, it was impressive. And I was like, oh, let me screen cap that and save it in my phone and let me start it. I did everything but the starting of it.
It's one of those things
Squats,
where people don't understand. Like they automatically assume you need a gym. Like you don't understand. Like if your form is good and you give yourself an honest workout every day and you do the reps and you keep your diet just in the ballpark, you're going to get in shape.
Getting in shape is
it takes time.
They are not wrong.
It just takes time.
It's 70% diet, maybe more. I'd say with some people it's 70%, and with other people it's 90%.
With me, it's not 70 because even when I was in really good shape,
you're coming from a different perspective. I'm talking about fat, overweight people.
Oh, okay.
Then I mean, diet is important for gaining.
Yeah.
Muscle, sure.
It's like the only way I can.
But it's also like if you're working out like a madman, but you're eating 4,000 calories a day, you're not, not working out with a madman, but I mean working out every day, but then you're eating more than you're burning. It doesn't make a fucking difference. Yeah. So, but they said diet is like the big thing, and that's where my problem is. I overeat. Yeah. But that's not really that funny. But this weight loss challenge is going to be hilarious.
Oh no,
the fat shaming is going to skyrocket to a new level every day.
The difference is I believe, and this is not a shot at AJ, but I believe that when it comes down to I think you have more discipline and you have more opportunity. Whereas he's got kids and all this other shit. Like it's just you, and you just concentrate on you. And when you can do that, you can.
Are you saying my life is sad and lonely?
No. Absolutely not.
Just kidding.
Absolutely not. Because look, you like it this way.
That's true. I do like it.
So like, I don't blame you at all. I really don't. So, I mean, I happily married, and now we have a place and all that stuff. But I also understand. I want a house. I want to own property. I want to do these things, and these things don't interest you, and not everything interests everybody else. So I'm just saying
you're bringing up the other thing that triggered me when you after cats you're like, and this is temporary, we're gonna buy a house. I go ownership's well overrated. It's a fucking money pit.
Yeah,
all you do is spend money all day, and I mean, if you can afford it, great. But I mean, like renting, it's like if the roof leaks, doesn't cost me an extra penny. If the air conditioner breaks, doesn't cost me an extra penny. Dishwasher, we're getting a brand new disposal Monday because it's leaking. Not costing me an extra penny.
Homeownership.
I don't have to pay to landscape anything. Yeah. I don't have to pay to get the pool clean that I have access to. Any of that shit.
I understand. Homeownership isn't for everybody.
No,
it's something I've always wanted to try.
Well, I think you like doing home stuff too, and you're capable.
Yeah.
So repairing things isn't always out of pocket.
Yeah.
It's just time.
It's time and labor.
It's tool time.
Yeah, tool time. Yeah, it's funny. I was looking through the garage, and I've realized that in our garages we've only got really 3 workable outlets. The outlet that
luckily you're a fucking trained electrician.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not gonna do anything crazy. The craziest thing I'm probably gonna do
just
is temporarily tap off the garage door just for an extra outlet and call it a day.
Dude, do whatever the fuck you want. Just get the matching paint so it looks like they did it.
Oh, and they wouldn't even know the difference.
Right.
Huh? Yeah.
They wouldn't even know what to look for.
They really wouldn't. I've seen these maintenance people.
So the other thing that happened today is I started ribbing Blake on the messenger about my home situation to the point where Anthony was starting to believe it. And I'm considering carrying this rib all the way till next Saturday when Blake's supposed to come over to watch the pay-per-view. I've been telling him that my roommate is like the most crazy coronavirus woke guy, I guess would be the way to put it, where he's
sold the couch.
No, we got rid of the couch and we have folding chairs that are 6 feet apart from each other and dispersed in the apartment.
You have to move the couch to the garage and just put folding chairs
I'm not doing any of that shit. When he walks in, he'll realize I was fucking with him. I'm not carrying a couch for a rib. Fuck him. Blake's not worth that much of a rib. Oh my God. But I like I told him that we've now separated everything in the fridge and in the freezer. There's delineated lines, and there's that he Lysols the dog every time he brings it in from outside. And what else did I say? I forgot to half of it.
I couldn't.
But you were like,
I couldn't keep up because so here's what
I'm like we've got different plates and silverware, like we're living in a kosher household.
So from my perspective, I start reading this, and at first I'm like, huh? I'm like, are these others fucking around? Like, oh, they're just having fun, like they're tit for tat, and that happens so often with us. But then we've come to understand Blake's reactions to this whole...
he's triggered by this whole new world.
He's triggered
of face masks and
beyond all reason and rationale. He's triggered.
Yeah.
So he starts reacting. I realize his reactions are the same kind of reactions he was having for stuff that we see around us. And I'm like, does Blake not know Ben's full of shit? And then...
He wasn't buying it at first.
And then AJ started reacting, and I start going like, what kind of crazy... I started...
And I'm getting crazier and crazier with this stuff.
So I'm doing what I never do. I scroll up because I'm like, I missed something. And then I scroll up, and I forgot what was being talked about right beforehand, but had nothing to do with any of this. This was all just kind of like off the cuff. So halfway through, and I remember I texted you, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like I'm popping. Like I thought that it was kind of a joke. And then I thought, like, at one point, you're like, Blake, no, I'm fucking around. Because I thought you had AJ and Blake fooled. And I'm like, what is happening?
Right.
They both know. They both know Huss. How could they believe any of this?
Right.
But
it's because he does those SJW posts and stuff like that.
But because of all this trigger they're going through, they don't even like... There's no asking questions. They just went right to straight to. Okay.
Life is insane enough that they're buying this shit.
This has to be true, and I'm like, what is happening?
I think I told him that I said, yeah. My roommate said you can come Saturday, but then he handed me a mask and a thermometer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's funny too because I have an external thermometer that I use for my planes that if we were going to further the rib, we could totally do. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's obviously not listening to this portion of the podcast.
No, well,
we're towards the end of it.
Unless we tell him we talked about him in it, he's not tuning in anyways.
Oh my God, no! I want the rib. I want him showing up like really. I want him pulling to me. I want him driving here,
working it up
working
all week.
In the head all week, totally prepared to come in and just start house on fire, just bah 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 bah, and just show up like, what? Everything's fine. Oh.
I said, oh, what else? I said, oh yeah. He won't even deal with his girlfriend. She walks right in the door and directly into the shower, and he checks to make sure the shower's hot enough and long enough.
The best part about that is you're describing people that we just don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, you 100% describing people that are real, they exist, and they are doing these things.
He won't walk past me. He waits in that little narrow area where you have to, like, if you're both walking, like,
the kitchen.
In the apartment, between the kitchen area and the living room, so you have to go by a couch. It's kind of close to the wall.
That's phenomenal.
And he's like, I'm like, yeah, he'll wait, and I'll pass through, and then he'll go.
Phenomenal.
I think Blake bought most of it. I bet you he's like in that like halfway area where he's not sure what to believe. But I'll just once or twice mention it again as it gets closer. I'm not gonna. If I go too far too often, he'll know.
With
now you pull back.
Yeah.
Here you pull back. You wait a day or two.
Wait for another post.
Right.
Gotta wait for it's very important for the post to match the situation.
Right.
So we need a full retard post the next day or so.
From my roommate?
Yeah.
Well, that might happen.
Oh, Blake.
That's 60%.
Oh, Blake, you silly Billy. Oh my goodness.
I woke up in a panic this morning. I forgot to deposit my check last night. My work check, and okay.
Still 5 days?
You know this story.
Yeah.
I use an online bank account mostly because when I was I've been off the grid for so long, I need to get my license straightened out, and since I didn't have a valid picture ID, I couldn't get a local bank to open an account. So I opened an online one just so I could process checks and stuff. And so, we're working like, I don't know how, like 2 full months maybe, or a month and a half of working at this place.
Something like that.
So like 6 or 7 checks. And there's still, like for a little while there, it would be like a hold for a day, $200. And then another day, 300. The rest of it, the rest of it would go through. And now the last 2 or 3, they've put a 5-day hold, and not like a regular day, but like work day. So it's like basically like a full week between when I put the check in and when it clears. So it clears the day I get the check, but I forgot to put it in Friday. So now, because it's the weekend, it won't go until Monday. So it's just going to be like a 9-day wait for this fucking check, which is ridiculous. And I called them to find out what the deal was. They're like, oh, yeah, they just found something suspicious. I go, suspicious? It's the same amount from the same place as the last fucking 4. Now the last 6 or 7. It's like, what? You should be automatically clearing them at this point. You see, it's a paycheck. They all clear. It's from a real bank. And they're still, it was fun. Did I tell that on the podcast where it was like, I called them about this, and she's like, she put me on hold when she came and goes, I've got an answer for you, but you're not going to like it. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? So, yeah, that's continuing. It's not the end of the world. It's not like I'm living exactly paycheck to paycheck. I especially wouldn't be if my stimulus check would ever come.
You're going to be the last stimulated human being on
I might never get stimulated.
Boom. They still haven't even mailed. There's like this whole thing like what's going on with all these mail-out checks.
Well, that's when I'll get panicky.
Yeah.
I assume there's just as many people getting them mailed as that that had it electronically deposited. So we'll see. Once those all go out and I still haven't gotten anything, then I'll get a little pissy.
Somewhere in America, there's another person named Ben Temples who's like, well, I've got all this money. Got a doppelganger, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Luckily, I'm not John Smith, How many Ben Temples can there be? I think there's like 2.
Like, if you're named something like that, wouldn't your first order of business be when you're like 18 is change your fucking name so you don't have to go through all that horse shit?
Oh, John Smith?
Yeah. Because that's
That's
our dumb thing that'll bite your ass like 40.
That's our buddy.
I know.
Jackie.
Oh.
John Johnson.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
How generic is that? And how common is that? John Johnson.
If only his middle name was Jimothy. Or Jonathy or whatever the fuck it was.
It starts with a C. Clifford?
Like the big red dog?
No, Clifton.
No,
Clinton.
Clinton.
Clifton or Clinton? It's something like that. Clifton, I think.
Okay.
I think I'm wrong. I'll have to look it up.
I think I'm wrong.
I have a feeling I am mistaken, and I don't have the information. I used to have a photo that had his.
You got way too much shit on your fucking desktop. I can't.
Yeah.
I got too much. That's too cluttered for me.
I know.
I'm losing my shit. My ADD is like
Yeah.
Oh, we almost out of here, buddy.
Yeah, I see you're itching to move things from
I'm so excited.
one storage thing into your new garage.
I'll probably get 2 trips today.
Yeah, well.
Depending on what happens after the first trip. Like, I might just get everything in and just be like, no, I'm good. Because there's fights tonight. And we'll what's his face? Walt Harris, the guy that lost his daughter late last year. This is his first fight back. So I'm really interested to see him versus Overeem. That's going to be a big moment if he's able to beat Hollister.
Sounds like a big boy fight.
It is a big boy fight. Wednesday is when was it Wednesday? Francis fought on Saturday night, last Saturday, right?
Yeah, he beat the shit out of someone.
He didn't beat nothing. He one punch fucking murdered the soul of a human being again.
We watched his soul do that where it leaves the body and it surfs through the space and time.
What was so
with that music to it? I forget what it's
I
called.
don't really want to real quick. What was so great about that was that dude Rosenstreich called him out.
Doesn't sound like what he looks like, does it?
No, it doesn't. Really, you think Rosenstreich and you're like, it's like a fucking like a Mortal Kombat character, like, and it's, he's like 6'4"
and a little dumpy looking.
A little bit, but you look at his fight history, and he beats the bricks off
because he's
people.
a striker. Because he's a striker.
Yeah. He's a kickboxer.
He's
a kickboxer, and he called out Francis Ngannou, and all Francis Ngannou's in this weird spot where all he wants to do is fight for a belt. He's tired. He's like, I'm clear number one. And it's not deniable to nobody can deny him as clear number one heavyweight contender. But because of how the DC Stipe situation has worked out with the Corona and Stipe still being a firefighter and DC mulling retirement, like the whole heavyweight title picture's like in this weird bubble. So Francis is kind of just chilling out. He's like, I don't really want to fight anybody unless I'm fighting for a belt. Rosenstruck calls him out, and Francis is like, all right, your funeral. And Rosenstruck, like, all fight week's like, nah, this is it. Like, your guys are going to watch me dismantle and take down the whole thing of fucking this kickboxer. Like, his highlights are just as good as Ngannou's. Like, he's beating all the same guys in all the same ways. And you're sitting there, by the time the bell's about to ring, you're like, this is going to be this is going to be like Godzilla and fucking,
someone did a good job
Mothra.
Selling the fight.
Like, you're like, this is going to be a fucking fight. They 20 seconds. He throws one punch, and Rosenstruck is boom unconscious on the fucking mat. And you're like, huh, this is like what it felt like to watch Tyson in the fucking 90s.
It was. I remember some of those fights. They were great.
And we can spend it a whole hour on the whole Tyson and all the rumors about him and Holyfield and Saudi and just them boxing again.
That'll be better like in a few weeks.
Yeah, it'll be better in a few weeks when it becomes more clear what'll be happening now that things are starting to like open up. But it was just so cool because Francis Ngannou is one of those guys that's come to the point where you're like, all right, we know what's going to happen. It's a matter of when is now the issue, and it usually happens sometime in the first round, usually early. So now, like, when he first lost to Stipe, it looked like he lost all his mysticism. He lost everything about him that was special because the very next fight with Derek Lewis, they didn't even touch each other. They just wandered around for 15 minutes, and they shouldn't even got a paycheck for that. But now he's back, and he's murked a who's who. He's ended the careers of like 3 people.
Right.
Like he's like the fucking Grim Reaper now. Like, he's not only is he back, but he has that mystique again, and he's lost and come back from it. So now I was like, man, like, I'll be honest with you. The rumor came out the other day that John Jones, if he comes to heavyweight, wants to fight Francis. That's what he wants his first heavyweight fight to be. Because he's like, why bother doing anything other than the most exceptional thing? So now it's a real conversation. Can John Jones actually, will Dana allow that to happen? And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, John,
he'll allow anything to happen to make money.
Not anything against anything. He's just a phenomenal fighter. John Jones is one of the best, probably one of the best to ever go down. If he fights Francis Ngannou, he's gonna die because he's gonna try to do that John Jones shit. And Francis has a nuclear fucking reactor in his hand.
We'll see.
Bro, like Rosenstruck was a fucking champion kickboxer and had done. He basically was Francis Light, and their fight had that kind of electricity because you're like, this could go the other way. John Jones ain't knocking Francis Ngannou out.
We'll see.
Oh, buddy. All right, we're in a little. This is good. I hope this is a thing that happens so we can discuss it because I'm very excited about this. I'm excited about 2 things. I'm excited about the possibility of that, and I'm excited about the possibility of a Holyfield fucking Tyson in their 50s. Fuck it, whatever. Flair wrestled into his 60s. Hogan would still wrestle if someone would just pay attention to what he was saying. So, fuck it. I don't care. Let's make it happen. Entertainment is more important now than legitimacy and all that nonsense.
Yeah, but, Foreman
won well into his 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And,
and he was fighting younger guys. It's like these guys are fighting. They're the same age. So 50. Who cares how old they are? It's not like they're fighting a guy 20 years younger than them.
And if you just go based off where they came from to where they're at right now, and then took all that and looked at the videos they've put out, like
it's not like they're having Mike Tyson fight Tyson Fury.
Yeah. But you're like for 1 round. It's kind of like the Rocky Balboa thing. Like, for 1 round, who the fuck knows what's going to happen? But then he's a 53-year-old man. But I was listening to Rogan, and Rogan's like, well, they might not fight in America because he's probably on TRT. Like, he's an older gentleman who, Rogan's on TRT, and all a lot of the older athletes are because we get older, we're men, testosterone drips, and you still want to be physically active, and you can't do
drips
that.
or drops?
Drops. I said drips, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
And so you know
if
him.
Your testosterone's dripping.
So you know him and Holyfield got to be on fucking. I won't say the straight gas, but they're at least on TRT. At the very least, at the very most, they're probably on HGH. And I mean, smart. It's smart. But now they want to be athletically competitive again. So that'll be an interesting thing. They might not fight in America because Saudis don't give a fuck. The Saudis are like, here's $7 million a piece. Play in front of us. Like they treat our athletes like toys because they have the money to do so. And our athletes are like, yeah, I'll be treated like a toy for $7 million easy up front. You know? Or like in the case of like a Holyfield Tyson, that's probably a $100 million fight easy.
For each of them.
Yeah, for each of them. So, and the Saudis don't give a fuck. They'll write that check tomorrow. They don't give a fuck. So that way they can fight. They can who the fuck cares? Fighting in America, they actually have to like get in like testing pools and shit. So that would be
commissions and all that shit.
And get a 53-year-old Tyson or Holyfield who's got testosterone and HGH supplementing his age. Yeah, he'll be a threat. But you take all that shit away. They're 53 and 57 years old. I don't care how genetically gifted they are. Age never loses. Like time always wins, always, and every athlete all the time, except in the movies. And Rocky Balboa wasn't real.
Yeah, but it's irrelevant. They're fighting the same. They're fighting the same opponent. I mean, it's not. They're not fighting a younger guy.
What's his face?
Time doesn't matter.
Who was it? Was it James Toney? It was not James Toney. It was somebody else. Another boxer came out and goes, "You guys shouldn't do that. You're gonna hurt yourselves. Like you're gonna get in real. You're gonna kill each other and you're too old and you've made all this money." And it's kind of like, yeah, but did you see the video? Oh, there we go. Live fart chat.
No.
Oh, what a letdown!
No.
What a letdown!
There's something back there that's not a fart.
Yeah, buddy. You don't got a turtle head poking out right there.
I do. That's why I'm waiting for you to stop talking about boxing.
All right, let's get out of here so Ben can give birth.
This is my second child of the day.
All right. Well, next
weekends are always for this.
I guess next week will be a good weekend because next week I'll be almost moved in. I think
we'll see.
So
we'll see.
But we'll have a lot of news.
You got a lot of furniture to acquire.
I do. All right, guys. Stay safe. Don't drink the Corona.
How do you know? Wait.
There we go. There you go. Don't chance it.
I worked it around the blockage. And now I'm talking about
secret ending.
All right, bye.